Hello and welcome. The topic of this video is about the storytelling in Tableau. As we know, stories are great for a narrated walkthrough of the discoveries of data analysis. Let's consider a simple example here, which tells about the marketing efforts is not paying off in those countries with significant loss. We are going to using the same sample data, the global superstore data. So the first task is to give an overview of the global super profits worldwide. We may create a map view for that. It would like this figure displayed, and you can clearly say those areas are suffering great profit loss. So in Tableau, how can we create this map view? Well, you need to create a new sheet, and you hold the Control command. You select the country and the profit. And next, from the Show Me panel in Tableau, you're choosing the map view. Let's do it in Tableau. In this demo here, we are going to show you how to create the map overview so you can clearly see the global superstore is losing money in some countries. So to create this map overview, we need the data variable, the country, and also the profit. Country can give the geographical locations. So once you're clicking on the country and the profit, we can go for the Show Me panel and clicking on the map view. So once you click it, this will give you the map view for the global superstore. And you can change the name of this sheet as Global Superstore is losing money in some countries. Okay, so give a title of this sheet. That's the map view we want to create it. The second task is to zoom in those specific countries that are losing money. We may create a bar plot showing those countries with significant profit loss. So clearly countries like Turkey, Nigeria, Netherlands are suffering great loss. So in Tableau, how you can create this bar plot? You may need to create a new sheet and dragging the profit to the column, country to the row. Then you may sort on the profit. You may cut the profit scale by dragging the profit to the marks panel, which is using the cutter. Well, as our focus is to find out those countries which suffer a huge loss, so we have to filter out those countries. Let's create a special set to including only those countries. For set creation, there's a dynamic way to do that. You may set the condition. For example, the total profit loss is less than -5,000, and select all those countries with measure like the summation of profit less than -5,000, and right-click, create the set country with loss. To display only those countries, you may drag the newly created set countries with loss to the filter panel, or you just right-click using the keep only. Let's do it in Tableau. In this demo here, we are going to show you what are those countries with significant profit loss. So to pick those countries, we have to be selective. Let's create a bar plot for all the countries with profit. So what we can do here, we can drag in the country to the row and the profit to the column. So this gives you a bar chart for all the countries. Well, by default, that is arranged in the alphabetical order. So we need to sort the profit. Okay, this is by the decreasing order, but we want to be selective for the country with negative. So we have to using the increasing order. So you can clearly say what are those countries with significant loss. The first one is Turkey. The second one is Nigeria. Well, so here, I don't want to focus on all the countries. I want to be selective. So what I can do here is to create a subset. So you may actually picking several countries that you are interested. So that will be highlighted. And right click on this. Okay. Go for the create set here. Okay. Okay, you can create a different set, and you can name the set as countries with significant loss. So in this set, it will only contain those countries that I have picked. Okay, once you click on that, you will see, okay, that is given here. So this is the set I have just created, and I name that as the countries with significant loss. Okay, the next what I want to do is to excluding all those countries I am not interested. So what I can do, right clicking by keep only. So clicking on the keep only, I can only highlight those countries that I want to study. So this is like a step to zoom in. Well, you may change the color scale by dragging the country with color here. Okay. Well, you may change the color scale to highlight the profit. So what you can do is to drag in the profit to the color. So a darker color means a significant loss. Okay, so this is the bar chart we created. Let's rename this chart as countries with significant profit loss. Okay, so that would be our second plot here, and we also create the set to including only those countries. The third task is to check whether we have applied any marketing activities to boost the revenue or profits. For example, we use the promotion offer or sales discount. We may create a scatter plot showing the relationship between the overall profit and average discount in those countries with significant profit loss. The trend line here indicates a larger discount rate is actually associated with bigger profit loss, as well as the transaction numbers. For example, countries like Turkey and Nigeria, they both have significant profit loss and huge transaction volume and a high discount rate. So in Tableau, how can we create this scatter plot? What you need to do is to create a new sheet. You drag in a discount to the column. You may change the default aggregation from summation to average, and you drag in the profit to the row. You also need to drag the profit to max the size. Okay, you may need to drag in the newly created set, the country with loss, to max color and label that. However, you only see 2 points, right? The reason is that by default, the two groups will be created either as in group and outside the group. So we need to change from the show in out of the set to show the members in the set. As for the trend line, you may choosing from the top panel, unfold the analysis. There's a trend line option there, and tick the show trend line. Let's do that in Tableau. In this demo, I'm going to show you how to create a scatter plot to show the relationship between the discount and the profit for those countries I have just created that is suffering the great loss. So in this scatter plot, I need the profit, so I drag into the column. I need the discount, so I drag in the discount to the rows. And you can using either way. You can using discount as the Y position or X position. Okay, you can easily transpose of them. Okay, here there's only a single point here for the profit and the discount, and the aggregation measure for discount and profit by default is all summation. But we know there's no meaning to summation or the discount. It is only meaningful to take the average discount rate. So we have to change the measure from the sum to average. Okay, so average discount rate versus the profit. Okay, so discount rate is between 0 to 0.15. Okay, that is the average discount rate range. So next, I'm going to actually picking only those countries that I have created. So I'm going to using the filter to list all those countries. So what I can do here, I can drag in the country to the filter here. Well, by default, it will pick, okay, by default, it will only calculate for the country in this set. And I want to differentiate different countries. So what I can do here, I can also drag in country to color. Okay, you see, this is also an aggregate one. So you have to changing from show the in and out set to the member set. So you have all those countries in this subset. Well, this is the two-dimensional scatter plot. I want to add additional dimension. For example, like the number of records. So I'm dragging the number of record to the size, and you can see the transaction volume for the different countries. I also want to label the different countries, so I drag in this to label. Okay, still you have to change from the in-out set to the member set. And now you see all the countries in this set. And what is the relationship between profit and average discount? Well, if you need a trend line in this scatter plot, you can add a trend line by taking the analysis, go for the trend line, and show trend line. So this is the trend line we created. Let's rename this plot by larger discounts are associated with greater profit loss. Okay, why it is like that? If you pay attention, you will see we know the first significant loss country is Turkey, the second is Nigeria. So for Turkey and Nigeria, both have a high average discount rate, and the profit is significantly less than other countries. So this is a negative correlation. The fourth task is to justify for huge loss. Can we expect they are expanding or growing fast to quickly grab the market share? That's why we are willing to give the huge subsidy or discount rate. We may create a line plot over time to show the sales and transaction volume trend. Here we would like to compare the two groups of countries. One group is the country with significant loss, and the other is with the positive profit. The line plot shows the country with negative profit and a larger discount are actually not developing very fast in terms of both the volume and upward trends. You may draw a conclusion here. What's your suggestion? Shall we stop the subsidy? Let's do it in the Tableau. In this demo, I'm going to show you for the country that we listed in this set and comparing to the countries that we have not included inside, okay, to show the difference between the sales and also the transaction volume, because we want to prove that countries with loss are actually not developing fast, or the market share is not increasing fast. So what I can do here, I want to create two line plot here. Okay, I choosing the order date, okay, to the column, and this is the line plot. So I will convert from the categorical data type to the continuous one and using the quarter continuous data type. Okay, so this is the timeline. I want to actually compare the sales, so I drag in the sales here, as well as the number of records, the transaction volume. Okay, so now we have this two line plot, but that is applied for all countries. So how can I compare the countries with loss and the countries without loss? What I can do here, I drag in the set I have just created to color. Okay, so you can clearly say, okay, this is the country in, okay, the blue line is in and the green line is out. Certainly you can change the color by editing this. So you can edit color. So the out, I using the orange color, so that can be more bright. Okay, so this is the country. The orange line is that the country not listed in this set. And the blue line is the country that I have created in the set. Well, if you are doing your own customization, you can always changing the alias in this. For example, what you can do, you added the alias in, you can be country with loss. Okay, so this one can be, you added the alias, can be countries with profit. Okay, so you can do your own customization here. And to rename this, we change this sheet as countries with loss and developing fast. Well, you can clearly say in the line plot here, the blue line is the country that we have filtered out, that is in the set with significant loss. So over time, the sales volume is not increasing, and similar to the number of records, the transaction numbers. So even with greater subsidy, they are not actually growing fast. So this is the plot we have created. Once you have created those chart sheets, you may integrate them into a full story and give the presentation just as what we did in a PowerPoint slides. So you need to create a new story, clicking on the new story button at the bottom. In the story interface, dragging a sheet to the view to create the first story point. To create the next story point, you may clicking on the new blank point. It would be something like this. If present, you may switch into the presentation mode. Let's do it in the Tableau. In this demo, I'm going to show you how to create a storytelling presentation in Tableau. So you have a third button here, that is the storytelling. Once you're clicking on that, it will create a blank page for the story. This is very like the PowerPoint slides. So our first slide, let's name this as an overview. Okay, in this overview, I want actually dragging the overview profit all worldwide for the global superstore. So that will be my first slide. Okay, you can also add some titles here. Okay, if you want to create more slides, you can go for the blank line. So in the second slide, I want to actually show the list of countries with significant loss. So what I need to drag in here is the second plot. So this is my second slide. Okay, I want to create a third slide that is showing that the larger discount or subsidy responsible for profit loss. Well, I want to drag in the scatter plot here because as you can see, for countries like Nigeria and Turkey, they have a very large average discount rate, but the profit is significantly less than other countries. So greater subsidy is given for those countries. This is my third slide. Okay, as for my fourth slide, I want to actually show, okay, the justification for giving more subsidy. Countries with loss aren't developing fast as expected. Okay, so I will drag in the fourth sheet here. I want to show that even I give huge discount rate or subsidy, those countries are not developing fast in terms of the market share and sales volume. Okay, so last one, I want to create a conclusion. So what kind of conclusion I can give here? Well, maybe I can just have a text information here. Okay, so you can drag in a text message here. Maybe you want to say, okay, what could be your conclusion? It can be any. Maybe we should change the strategy to avoid unnecessary subsidy in those countries with significant loss, since the market share is not growing fast. Okay, so this will be my conclusion page. Okay, once you create this story, you can go for presentation easily. See, this is the button for presentation, and you're clicking on that. Okay, you will see how to do the presentation. So this is the storytelling in Tableau. Thank you for watching and enjoy your learning.